Morning guys, Friday the 14th of August. I was sort of sharing yesterday about ways of dealing with change in changes, particularly when changes are coming up. And something else that sort of reminded of in a way actually is that when I went through some sort of quite big changes in my life previously, and if at times things appeared a little bit overwhelming, I would remind myself that it was never what I call, it wasn't a bad day or a bad few days or a bad week. I called them moments, and I think that's much more, I think it's manageable, but I also think it's more honest and realistic about how things work, because I think you can have moments where you may feel a bit overwhelmed, a bit anxious, a bit unsure about stuff, but then you can also have many other moments in the day where you're engaging, you're connecting with people. Like yesterday when I was talking to my and meeting with the two coaches I'm working with on Courageous Coaching Conversations, we went from sharing very intense things to using ironically humour was something that we used a few times, which just ended up making us laugh. Other times where we break into spontaneous song, which we've done a few times, which is just, it really does, it's uplifting, it's inspiring, it helps you connect with others. So I think that's just a piece I really wanted to share and remind myself and other people of, that actually just keep focused on them moments in time. And also something else that came up yesterday was perspective. I know I've looked at perspective on and off quite a bit. I was sharing something about my potential changes, and then somebody else shared something about theirs, and I think what their response was in comparison to something I'd said. Their sort of change was much bigger, and actually way more looming. They really really had to, limited time, shall I say, to have to deal with certain changes where I was conscious I've got that bit more time. And so, and although it didn't, I was saying it was important that just because somebody else's situation appears to be, just say more serious, being maybe not the right word, but it's obviously something they've got to deal with a lot sooner in terms of a change, doesn't negate how any people feel in any given situation, because everybody's still entitled to how they feel, what they're experiencing, how they're processing things, but actually what it can do in certain moments is it can offer a bit more perspective, which is quite important, because it's easy to lose perspective, and I think part of that perspective, which is something I've been doing for a while consciously, but I just need to remind myself to keep doing this, because I think I've let it go a bit the last couple of weeks, which is my gratefulness journal. Literally, I write, reflect in this journal, 3 things that I'm grateful for each day, and it does help focus the mind on what you have to be thankful for. You know, even when things are perhaps shifting, changing, can be a bit stressful. I think it's always important to look for something that you know you can be grateful for. So it doesn't necessarily change the situation, but it just it can offer perspective in that moment in time, to enable you to feel or think that little bit differently about stuff. Well, and as I've said before, getting out physically in nature can offer different perspective. It certainly enables you to get out your head a bit more, can see the bigger picture, so to speak, the bigger world, the world that has been here long before me or anybody else, and hopefully will be here long after I'm not here. It's, yeah, walking through this part of the woods thinking, I wonder how many other people have walked through here. I wonder how many people have had conversations, reflections. I wonder how many people have actually done a video. That'd be interesting. I'm sure there's always someone, because I think we all like to think that we're perhaps the first and unique in certain ways, and obviously we are, because there's no one absolutely, you know, DNA wise like us ultimately, but it's you know, 90% of the time I'm sure that same things have happened, people have experienced the same sort of stuff, similar things, similar themes. And I was just imagining, you know, the trees, should I say the trees, because I've been here a while, the trees sort of listening to people's sort of voices, and being privy to all those conversations. fresher this morning, but still quite warm though, muggy. Isn't it, Will? Muggy, muggy, muggy. Interesting. Warning, anti-climb paint. I wonder what the sort of paint makes it anti-climb. It just struck me then. I mean, I think the spikes on top might put you off more than the paint, but yeah. What happens to the paint if somebody climbs it? Does it just suddenly disintegrate on you? I doubt it. Oh, it's been quite nosy now. Lots of allotments and stuff all at the back of there. I've really looked inside here. Me being nosy and curious, isn't it? Well, that's the other piece, really, the important piece as well. Is and I mentioned this on the coaching skills side of things the other day, but actually, from the point of view of staying open to perspective, possibilities, options, the ability to stay curious is massively, massively important. Because it just allows your mind to stay open to what are the possibilities, what can be, what may be present, that actually you might not necessarily see at face value. So sometimes the getting curious, it's a bit like digging for treasure. Think about it like archaeology. I don't know if many of you know this, but I actually really wanted to be an archaeologist when I was sort of younger at school. But it was of the days where they basically said, well, if you're too young and there's not many courses, you'd have to wait till you're a bit older. And yeah, it was just something that even now I love the idea of it. And so there is that piece about even I suppose in the work I do really, I've always seen it like that, the digging deeper, the mining for gold and treasure, but the golden treasure in say the case of my work being to enable people to find aspects of themselves that they can draw upon to develop an inner strength, to have aspects of themselves perhaps that they've not allowed to be in touch with or to sort of show up, or maybe they've buried for a little while. Come on, Will. So yeah, the place of curiosity, I think, in life generally, particularly when you're staying creative to possibilities and solutions, and thinking what some people would term outside the box. I think staying curious is vital. So guys, have the rest of a fruity loopy, fit, fun filled, fishy, fizzy, fuzzy, froggy Friday, and I shall speak to you later, guys. Take care, bye.